I hope you're good. Today we are dealing with Bitcoin mining. We are dealing with Bitcoin mining, and I did other videos explaining everything about Bitcoin and Bitcoin transactions and the blockchain. So we are continuing, but today we are dealing with Bitcoin mining. So we know that Bitcoin is a digital money. It's a digital money, and it is not a physical money. You can't touch it. It is digital and it is mined. And when you say Bitcoin mining, there's a lot of process involved when it comes to Bitcoin mining. And mining Bitcoin, it is not the same as mining gold or diamond or oil. Those precious stones, precious your gold, your diamond, those things, the way they are mined, it is not the same as mining Bitcoin. So by the end of this presentation, you will know everything about Bitcoin mining. I will explain everything in detail so that you understand what do we call it Bitcoin mining, even though it is not mined the way gold is mined. And please don't forget to subscribe. By subscribing, you are sending the message that keep on doing what you are doing. We love what you are doing. So when I see people visiting the site and they are not subscribing, this channel is still new. For me to even bring you more content about the cryptocurrency, about the Bitcoin, about the exchange, anything that has to do with Bitcoin, I need to see those number of subscribers increasing, because when I see those numbers increase, you are simply saying we love what you are doing and continue doing what you are doing. So please subscribe so that I can also do my job in terms of bringing you more content about the Bitcoin. Okay, as I've explained the concept of Bitcoin mining. Mining, we know when you talk about mining, you think about going underground, having specific tools to go and dig deeper, underground to extract gold, to extract diamond, and so on and so forth, and even oil on underground. But now when we talk about the Bitcoin mining, we talk about mining Bitcoin. But this mining Bitcoin, it is not the same concept of mining. The concept is the same, sorry. The concept of mining is the same. But mining itself, it is not done the way normal mining we know it is going underground. This is a different way of mining. So we'll see what is the requirement for it, what you need, and the capacity and the strength and the resources. Those things, they are different. So I'll take it step by step so that by the end of this video you understand exactly what is Bitcoin mining. Okay, Bitcoin mining. Sometimes our eyes are deceiving. Sometimes for example, let me just make a literal example. When you look at the sun, it is rising on the east and it is sunset on the west. But that is not the point. That is not the case. We know that the sun is not moving, but the earth is rotating on its axis. But now, when you're looking at the sun, you will think that the sun is moving. The same here. When you look at this picture, your eyes are telling you that the Bitcoin is underground. Because when you talk about mining, this is a concept of mining. You go underground and get precious stones. But when it comes to Bitcoin, this is not the point. I will explain it. But now, this is the concept. Bitcoin mining. The concept is the same, which means you need this Bitcoin, the mining, it has three most important components, which are also the same when it comes to Bitcoin mining. The first component of mining, you need resources. You need human resources. You need people to go underground to do the work of mining. So you need the miners. So number two, you need the specific tools. You can't use certain tools to go underground and dig gold. You need specific tools. And also you mine at the specific place. You can't get gold almost anywhere and everywhere. There's a specific place where you can go and dig gold or diamond. So it is the same when it comes to mining. You need miners, people who are mining. You need specific tools to do that, and that can only be done by using certain resources and also at a certain places. So when I talk about certain places, it is not a physical place. You can mine Bitcoin in your house. You can mine Bitcoin within a certain place. Anywhere in the world, you can mine Bitcoin. So this is the concept of mining. It is the same concept when it comes to Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin one, it is different. You will see as we proceed. You know, again, picture. You look at this guy, you look at the tool, you will definitely show this guy, and look at the tool as well, and this one, you will definitely show that this guy is going to mine. He's going underground to mine, because this one, it will, this headphones, it will prevent him from hearing this noisy sound. And this one, it will light because it's underground. You need this to see the road and to see the way. And then this one, you need a specific tool to do so. But when it comes to Bitcoin, it is different. It is different. I'm just trying to show you different pictures to make you understand that sometimes don't believe your eyes. Your eyes are so deceiving. Those pictures you see of Bitcoin, you see Bitcoin underground, you will never find Bitcoin underground. This one, it comes close. It comes close in terms of explaining the Bitcoin mining, because you will see, this is a specific, I would say, a computer. As you can see those things there, this is more or less a computer, and you see people who are mining. You see now the difference is, the first picture, it was underground. The second picture is a computer, which simply means mining gold, you go underground, but mining Bitcoin, you need a specific computer. Are we getting close now? So mining gold, mining diamond, to go mining oil, you go underground. But now mining Bitcoin, you need a computer, a specific computer to do that. A specific computer. So now we are moving closer now. Let's continue. This one is even more obvious. Again, the concept, these people are mining, they are mining what? Bitcoin, but they are not underground. This is a chip. This is a computer. Now, this picture brings us closer in terms of understanding Bitcoin mining, which simply means Bitcoin mining, for you to be able to mine Bitcoin, number one, you will need a computer. Are we getting closer now? So now you know that mining Bitcoin, you don't go underground, even though the pictures are showing you people are going underground, wearing specific tools to go underground. But with Bitcoin mining, you need a computer to mine Bitcoin. Let us proceed. Okay, these are the types and kinds of computers you need to mine Bitcoin. You see, if you mine Bitcoin on a smaller scale, you can even only use one of these. You can only use one of these and mine Bitcoin on the smaller scale. Maybe you are still starting. You have not yet developed your resources to be able to mine Bitcoin effectively and efficiently. You can only use one of these, but you can see this guy, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's say 9 tools to mine Bitcoin, or 8. This is a power supply. 8 tools to mine Bitcoin, and it's going to put them together. You see, it is not a normal computer to do that. You need a specific computer, and you resemble it in a proper way, and you need qualified people, specialized people to be able to, because this one machine, it can cost more than $2,000, only this one machine. So you see how expensive it is to mine Bitcoin, just on a smaller scale. So you can imagine there's 8 of them. So you say 2,000 by 8, roughly it goes around there, from 2,000, 1,008, around there. But we know as the technology advances, there's more and more sophisticated tools to mine Bitcoin. So they cost 5,000, 6,000, or even more. So I'm just trying to show you how difficult, not difficult necessarily, but how expensive it is to mine Bitcoin. So this is the person who's mining Bitcoin on a smaller scale, even though it can cost him more than 10,000 to start, roughly. You see, again, you remember I said to you, mining Bitcoin, you need what? You need a computer. Now you have a computer, but that computer it must be a specific computer. As you can see, this guy is connecting his mining machine. This is the computer, but this is mining machine. So he's connecting this computer, this mining machine to his computer so that can be able to mine Bitcoin. Believe me, you don't you just need a startup for you to be able to mine Bitcoin, but you don't need a huge income. As I've said, you can just start by mining Bitcoin by using one machine, and also you will get the rewards based on the machine and the capacity your machine can handle, because mining Bitcoin is a competition. You will see when we talk about the proof of work, which simply means it's a process. A proof of work, it's a process, the possibility of mining a block, and how much you need to mine one block. So it is a work of your computer, it is the capacity of your computer to handle mining a block, a piece of block, so that can get the reward. As you can see, because I want to draw your attention on something here. You see those blue thing on top? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the fans. These are the fans, because mining Bitcoin, it requires a lot of electricity. You need to have, your bills of paying electricity, it will be very, very high. And because they consume a lot of power, a lot of electricity, so that these fans, they are cooling it down. And when you can enter a room where they are mining Bitcoin, there's a lot of noise, because the demand of these fans, they are cooling down the system so that it does not burn. So it demands a lot of electricity. So this guy, he's now mining Bitcoin at a higher level, a little bit higher level. As you can see here, these machines, they are running. And another thing, these machines are running 24/7. They are running 24/7 to mine Bitcoin, because people all over the world are buying and sending Bitcoin. So these miners, they are working 24/7. They don't rest. These computers are working 24/7. And again, when you say Bitcoin mining, there are people who are resembling this machine. They are miners. They are miners, I can say. But the work of mining, it is done by these machines, not the person who resembles the machines. He just resembles the machines and make sure it is connected correctly using specific people, trained people, who can be able to connect these computers. But the work of mining, it is done by this computer. Of course, you'll need a certain softwares and connect them properly, and so that it can run 24/7 to mine your Bitcoin. So this person is mining Bitcoin on the upper scale. So the first one we can say is mining Bitcoin on the level 1. So this one is mining Bitcoin on the level 2. Let us proceed. You see, these are the fans. These are the fans, these are power supplier, these are the fans. Can you imagine how, as I've said, one machine can cost roughly up to $2,000. $2,000. Can you imagine how much this person spent to put all this machine? Millions and millions of dollars. So but you can start small. You can start by using one machine as you accumulate Bitcoin, because people who are mining Bitcoin, they get rewards. They get rewards in terms of Bitcoin. I will explain as you continue how much Bitcoin each person get, depending on the year, of course, depending on the year. People who used to, when it was started, people who mining Bitcoin were so little, and it did not demand so much. So people by then, 2009, 2010, they used to get 50 Bitcoin by mining one block. So now it has changed. I will explain it as we proceed. But this is the person who are mining. These are technicians who are connecting these machines. These are another technician there. So they are combining these machines. So these machines, they can run Bitcoin on the higher scale, on the higher space. And the bill of electricity, it is very, very important. Again, it is important the place, the country where you mine the Bitcoin, it will determine if it is efficiency or what, or if it is effective, because in terms of power, because other countries, the power, it is more expensive than other places. So the place where you are, it will also can determine if by mining Bitcoin you are making much profit as you need. But all of that will be explained as you proceed. But this is the people who are mining Bitcoin on the higher scale, on the highest level. And you have people who look after these machines, so that, because if one thing goes wrong, you mess up the whole machine, and you can burn all of these machines. How much money you lose? So you must be prepared to have money, and the money that you have to mine Bitcoin, when you lose it, you must not go mad. It must be the money that does not make you go mad when you lose it, because anything can happen here. Okay, again, this is the same person, this is at the same level. You see, these are complicated. I'm showing different pictures to show you at different levels and at different tools you need to mine Bitcoin. As you can see, these tools to mine Bitcoin and these ones are different, but again, it is the same thing, which is mining Bitcoin. So these machines, they work as miners. They work as when you mine gold, diamond, or oil, they go deeper underground to get the human resources. Humans, they go down and get this gold and your diamond. But when it comes to Bitcoin, again, it is these machines. It is not people. These machines, they are mining Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a digital money. It is not. It is mined digitally. So it is a digital money. It is mined digital. But gold, you can touch it. It is a physical. So you need physical people to do that. So the difference between precious stones, gold, and Bitcoin is that gold, you need people to do that, but Bitcoin, you need machines to do that for you. Okay, okay. I've now explained. You now know by now the- how does Bitcoin mining work. But now let me take you through the process of Bitcoin. How does Bitcoin operate roughly, briefly? When you say, now I want to have Bitcoin, the first thing that you must do, you must first download the Bitcoin app. You download it on your computer, on your iPad, on your phone. It's even much more easier to buy Bitcoin on your phone, to even use your phone. But also there's a risk, because you are moving with your phone. If it happens you lose your phone, that is a risk. But you can also prefer to use computer, or iPad, and leave it at home. Or the phone, you must have a phone where you specifically deal with Bitcoin, so that you don't have to travel with it. You leave it in one place to minimize the risk of losing it. So the moment you have downloaded the app, now once you have the app, you can now buy Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoin. How do you buy Bitcoin? You go to the exchange. I will also do a video about the exchange, because the exchange, you can open your Bitcoin address. After opening your Bitcoin address, you can store your Bitcoin there. You can store your Bitcoin on your address and be able to trade and buy and sell your Bitcoin. But roughly, you buy Bitcoin on the exchange, you connect your exchange to your bank account, and so that can transfer your money from your bank account into the exchange and be able to buy your Bitcoin. Also, you can use Bitcoin as a form of payment. There are shops, depending on which country you are, there are places where they accept Bitcoin. So you can just, using your phone, you can scan your code and be able to pay using the Bitcoin. It's the same process as buying using money, fiat money, physical money, but this time using Bitcoin, a digital money. There are shops where they accept Bitcoin, and it's a very interesting thing, because now even the charges are very, very minimal. It is very, very less. And also here, the third one, you can receive Bitcoin to your address, because once you have the Bitcoin address, once you have this app, you will have the app, you download it using the certain exchange, and have the address. Once you have the address, you can buy Bitcoin from the exchange and store it in your address, so that you can even send it to other people. You can send it to other people, or other people can send you Bitcoin into this address, you know. So these are the most important three things when you talk about the Bitcoin. You can send Bitcoin to people, or people can send you the Bitcoin. But the process of sending the Bitcoin, as you can see, the process of sending the Bitcoin, you send the Bitcoin, and the middleman, your Bitcoin need to be verified by miners. So people who are mining Bitcoin, when you decide to send Bitcoin, there are people in the middle, you call them miners, as I've explained. They're mining. This mining, they are trying to solve a math problem. Once this math problem is being solved, and the block, it gets added to the block, and once it is added to the block, it is distributed to all network people on the network, all miners, so that they can have it also in their system. And once that it is done, now the verification of of your transaction, it is done through the miners. Once that it is done, the next person receive the Bitcoin. Okay, this is another way of explaining how does the Bitcoin operate. You are sending you already have the Bitcoin. You bought the Bitcoin already. You can send the Bitcoin. Maybe you want to send. This is the person who's sending the Bitcoin. This is the person who will be receiving the Bitcoin. In the middle, we have the miners. These are the most important people when it comes to the Bitcoin transaction, because without the miners, you won't be able to send and receive your Bitcoin. In fact, your Bitcoin will be lost. These are the most important thing, and they are decentralized. They are decentralized, which simply means there is no central authority controlling it. These are just miners using computers. So you're sending a Bitcoin, and it gets into the miners, and miners are validating the process of Bitcoin, managing, solving a problem, and the miner who solved the problem first, the transaction, it gets distributed into the network, and then the person receive the Bitcoin. The process can take roughly 10 minutes. It can take 10 minutes. Again, let's just bring the parallel to the bank. How does the way the bank operate? You have the money into the bank, and you send the money you have the money, you put the money into the bank, and you transfer the money into the exchange. You see, the exchange is where you transfer your money, and you save your money there, so that you can buy the Bitcoin on the exchange. I'll do a video about the exchange, but for now, it is important for you to know that once you bought the Bitcoin, once you have money into the bank, you connect your bank to the exchange, so that you can transfer money from here into the exchange, so that you can be able to complete this process of buying or sending the Bitcoin to one person to another. Okay, how does the Bitcoin, the blockchain works? I want to say something about the Bitcoin and the blockchain. Bitcoin is not blockchain, and blockchain is not Bitcoin. Let me repeat. Bitcoin, it is very important. Bitcoin, it is not blockchain, and the blockchain, it is not Bitcoin. Get it into your head. Those two are not the same thing. Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and blockchain is blockchain. Bitcoin is a digital money, and the blockchain is it's a backbone where Bitcoin operate. Bitcoin operate on the railway of blockchain. Without the blockchain, we can't have the Bitcoin transaction, because the Bitcoin transaction is happening on the blockchain. I did a video on the blockchain on the very same channel, CROWD1 training. This channel you are watching now, you can watch other videos about the blockchain where I explain exactly what is blockchain. But it is for now, it is important to know that we have the Bitcoin, and we have the Bitcoin operating on the backbone of blockchain. So blockchain is a background where Bitcoin is operating. So it's a foundation of blockchain, of Bitcoin, the blockchain. So we have the miner, and in the middle, okay, let's start here. This is the process. This is the process, and this is a transaction where you agree with someone to send and receive Bitcoin. And this one, before it can get to anywhere, it gets into the miners. The miners are mining Bitcoin, and once they're mining Bitcoin, the first miner to get to solve the math problem first, they're more like solving the puzzle, and the first person to solve the puzzle, he add the block into the blockchain, and this proof of work, I will also explain what is proof of work. It's a simple process where the mining the mining more or less the miners, when they are mining a Bitcoin, the transaction to be able to be validated, we call it the proof of work. And these miners are now, once the problem has been solved, the miners are broadcasting the proof of work into the network so that other miners, they can stop what they are doing. Because now I'm, I'm, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me cancel this. I'm very sorry. Okay, the miners are validating the process. Once the process has been validated, and that process, it is broadcasted, because miners, they are rushing to solve a problem. It's a competition. This transaction, it is not only one miners, depending how many machines we have and the capacity. When you mine Bitcoin, it is 100,000, even millions of miners are doing the same process. The one who solved the problem first, it is the one who broadcast to the rest and say, you know what, stop doing what you are doing. I have managed to solve the problem. And once you manage to solve the problem, you share the results to all other miners, and that proof of work is validated. When it is verified, the process takes place. Okay, there are important things when you talk about mining cryptocurrency, any cryptocurrency. The blockchain, you must know that for you to be able to mine Bitcoin, you need a blockchain. It is a process where Bitcoin, it operates on the road of blockchain. It is a backbone, it is a foundation. And the hash, the process where Bitcoin, it is mined, the process where the machines are working very hard to solve a math problem. Proof of work, as I've explained, once miners are mining Bitcoin, to validate and verify the process, the whole process, we call it a proof of work, to say, I've achieved mining, I've achieved solving the math problem, and it is distributed to all other miners on the network. So the miner is the person who is mining Bitcoin, but we know that it is not the person who's mining the Bitcoin, it is the machine of the person. So the rewards, this is every miner who solve the block, they get the rewards, they get rewarded by getting the Bitcoin. But it depends on which year um, uh, this is done. And for example, in 2009, by solving a block, you get 50 Bitcoin. I will also explain as we continue. But now in 2020, you get 12.5 Bitcoin by successfully solving a block. Okay, this is the miner, and this is the transaction, and this is the solving this problem. Once the problem is solved, and this is I'm just trying to explain the simplest way so that you understand the Bitcoin mining. This is the miner in the middle. This is the transaction where people are sending and receiving a Bitcoin, and the miner solved the problem. After solving the problem, he get the rewards of Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin, it get distributed to the next person. Okay, how does it actually work? The way mining process works. Okay, uh, roughly, miners are solving a math problem, and this person in the middle is the miner, is the one who is a miner, but we know he is not the one who's mining, but his machine is mining to solve the problem. And once that it is done, the release of Bitcoin goes into this miner and save the Bitcoin into his Bitcoin address. Again, sending Bitcoin from one person to the next person. This is sending the Bitcoin, it goes into the exchange. From the exchange, it goes to the next person. So it is the same process again. You get the money first into the bank. Once you have the money into the bank, you transfer the money into the exchange. Once you have the money into the exchange, you can have the Bitcoin and send the Bitcoin to the next person. Okay, the miners are those people, as I've explained before, they are validating your process of sending Rob is sending money to Anna, and Anna, before Anna receives the money, it goes to the miners, and the miners, after solving the problem of math, they get rewarded with Bitcoin. Okay, what is Bitcoin halving? Bitcoin halving, it can be explained in a simple way. This is Bitcoin mining. It is a process. It can be explained in a certain way. But roughly, it simply means every 4 years, the number of Bitcoin mined, they get reduced by half. As it says, halving, Bitcoin halving. Every 4 years, the number of Bitcoin that can be mined, they get reduced by 4 years. So it's the process of the person who's receiving the rewards, the person who's mining the Bitcoin. Also, his Bitcoin get reduced by half every 4 years. So this is a simple process. I will explain as we proceed. This is okay. This explains it well. This is the miners reward. So this is the number of Bitcoin ever to be mined, 21 million. So in 2009, when the Bitcoin was first mined, we had 21 million Bitcoiners. But 4 years later, this number gets into half. And the 50 Bitcoin, this is the number of Bitcoin miners. If you complete a block, you get 50 Bitcoins. But this number, because the number of Bitcoin get reduced by half, and the number of Bitcoin miners they get by solving a math problem, by completing a block, it also get halved by 25. In 2009, it was 50 Bitcoin, but in 2012, 4 years later, it was 25 Bitcoin. And also, the number of Bitcoin, they get reduced by half. When you moved from 2012 to 2016, so this again, the number of Bitcoin that can be mined, they get reduced by half. That is called halving. So in 2016, the number of Bitcoin that ever to be mined is 5.250 million Bitcoins in 2016. And the people who are mining Bitcoin, this is their rewards, 12.5 Bitcoin per block. It's still a lot. It's still a lot. So it becomes more and more difficult to mine Bitcoin as years progress. And the power also, it demands more power. Again, in 2020, this is the number of Bitcoin that can ever be mined. 2.625 million. 2,625 Bitcoin that can ever be mined in 2020. This is 4 years from 2016 to 2020. So gradually, by the year 2041, that will be the last Bitcoin that will be mined, as we follow the same process. So we are here in 2020. So the next one is 2024. This number will go by half. And this number also, people who are mining Bitcoin, their rewards when they solve a block, when they complete solving a block, it will also be half. So by 2041, the last Bitcoin will be mined. So every 210 blocks, or an average of every 4 years. So this is the process. When they talk about Bitcoin halving, they simply means that the number of Bitcoin, they are reduced by half every 4 years. 2009, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024, 2028, and so forth, and so on. And this number also, it gets reduced by half. Okay, there are two things that you need for you to be able to mine a block successful. You need the effort of your machine. The effort of your machine, you working very hard. Your machine working very hard to validate the process, and once that it is done, you get the block, and once you get the block done, you get your rewards. Okay, this one, it explains it roughly. The miners who used to mine in 2009, by mining one block, they used to get 50 Bitcoin. But miners who mine Bitcoin, because this number, it is reduced by a half. So is their rewards also, it is reduced by half. They used to get 25 Bitcoin. In 2016, this number also gets reduced by half, which simply means the miners who mine Bitcoin by completing a block, they get 2.5 Bitcoin. But in 2020, this number also is reduced by half. The number of Bitcoin miners who complete the block, they get 6.25 Bitcoin, and so forth. In 2024, the same will happen. Okay, I want to bring your attention to something. As you see, the number of Bitcoin once the years progress, as the number of Bitcoin become less, the price of Bitcoin increase. The number of Bitcoin becomes less. The number of Bitcoin increase. The price of Bitcoin increase. The number of Bitcoin becomes less. The price of Bitcoin increase, which simply means this is a demand supply. If there is more supply and there is less demand, then it means the price of Bitcoin, it will go down. But when there is more demand and less supply, the price of Bitcoin goes up. So, but when it started, Bitcoin was roughly $10 around 2009. $10, $11, it goes to $700, it goes to $1,000, it goes to $10,000. Roughly, as I speak to you now, Bitcoin, it is roughly $14,000. So, and this number, as it decreases, the price of Bitcoin also goes up. Bitcoin mining versus Bitcoin buying. Which one is the best? Do you prefer to mine Bitcoin or do you prefer to buy Bitcoin? As I've explained before, Bitcoin mining, you need to have a capacity and the resources to do that. But Bitcoin buying, you just need to go to the exchange and buy your Bitcoin. Okay, this is the block. I've explained this already. In 2012, the number of Bitcoin miners, they get 50. In 2012, they get 50 Bitcoin. In 2016, 25. In 2012, they get 12.5. And in 2020, people who are mining Bitcoin by completing a block, they get 6.25. Okay, in terms of comparing whether by buying, if you buy Bitcoin and hold it in 2012, where the price was 800, if the price of Bitcoin goes to 8,000, and because you bought Bitcoin at 800 and you keep your Bitcoin, and by then this was the Bitcoin price, but later on this is the Bitcoin price, it has accumulated, and this is 970%. So it simply means you bought Bitcoin when it was 800. We bought Bitcoin for $800 and the price was 665.85, but now years later the price of Bitcoin, it was $8.56. So now you have gained $7,000. So buying Bitcoin and keeping Bitcoin, it is also can make you money. But by mining Bitcoin and sell it for cash, let's make an example. One Bitcoin, you bought it for 800. It was 800 then, and this is the price. And by then, by accumulating Bitcoin, by mining and selling it, this is how much profit you made. It more or less the same, but this one, it is less risk because you buy your Bitcoin and keep it there. This also explain that people who are mining Bitcoin compared to people who are buying and keeping their Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin cost on different countries. Different countries has different cost for mining Bitcoin. For example, if you are in Belgium, this is the cost for mining Bitcoin. $13,000 each, because the cost of electricity here is too high compared to South Africa. The cost of electricity is not that much expensive. So when you are in Belgium, your cost of running your Bitcoin mining is very, very expensive. The cost of mining one Bitcoin, to mine one Bitcoin, this is how much it will cost. But when we are in South Africa, to mine one Bitcoin, this is how much it will cost. So it is more reasonable to say. And whereas in Serbia, to mine one Bitcoin, it costs 3,133. But the most expensive places to mine Bitcoin is in Bahrain. I don't know where is this. To mine one Bitcoin, this is not even the price of one Bitcoin. So it is much, depending on where you are, it can cost you much to mine Bitcoin. The proof of work. Let me just explain the proof of work. We are now heading towards the end. This is the computer who's solving the problem is sending the Bitcoin to be verified, and it is received. That one you understand by now. So the proof of work, proof of work, it simply means it is the possibility of mining a block, and this depends on how much work it is done by the miner. It depends on how many machines you run, how much capacity you have to run Bitcoin, and that capacity will determine how much it is done, how much rewards you get. As you can see, these are mining Bitcoin. So a reward, it is provided to the first miner who solve each block problem, which simply means when miners are mining Bitcoin, it is not all miners who get rewards. The person who gets to mine to solve the problem first. If you have more machines, you will manage to solve many problems first, and you get the rewards. The other people who have already tried to solve the problem and they did not win the race of solving the problem, their work, they get eliminated, and we have already spent electricity. You see how expensive to mine Bitcoin. And the person who mine the Bitcoin first, he will get the rewards. All miners completed each other. All miners compete with each other to solve a medical problem, a math problem, to validate the process. So it is not every miner who get the rewards, but it is the one who solved the problem of the block first. Thank you very much. I hope I've explained everything about the Bitcoin mining, and hopefully you will stick to the channel, and there's more that I need to be explaining about the blockchain, about the Bitcoin, and also I'll be doing the next video about the Bitcoin exchange, where you can buy Bitcoin and open the address and sell your Bitcoin and trade your Bitcoin and keep your Bitcoin there. Please stay tuned to CROWD1 training. This is where we upload the videos about the cryptocurrency space, the blockchain, the Bitcoin. So we are training people everything they need to know about the blockchain, and this is the place where you will get all the information. And also we have a Telegram channel. On this channel, I will send the link to go to our Telegram channel, where we update you everything about the blockchain and the Bitcoin. Please don't forget to subscribe. I always say your subscription, it is only encouraging me. By subscribing, you are sending the message, and the message is, we love what you are doing. Keep on doing what you are doing. And again, I'm dedicated and committed to teach you more about the blockchain. We'll also develop other platforms, other spaces to take it to another level, to take you deeper in terms of explaining and understanding what is a cryptocurrency. Again, thank you very much for allowing me to present to you.